House to vote on increasing coronavirus stimulus checks to two. Oh yeah, here it is. So Donald Trump in a last second effort out of nowhere decided, you know what, fuck it, I am going to go and vote for approve the coronavirus relief and the omnibus proposal. He didn't get any. They made zero concessions to him. He just fucking signed it. And let's be real. Thank you, Finnish Theologian, for the 5 gift subs. Let's be fucking real for a moment. They're definitely not going to. They're absolutely not going to also push for the 2,000 additional stimulus checks. Okay? The Democrats in the House are going to. Democrats in the Senate are going to. But the Republicans are like, absolutely not. Mitch McConnell has literally said, absolutely not. Now, the great part about this is Donald Trump even mentioned it. The fact that Donald Trump mentioned it and the fact that people are upset about it is something that the Democrats should be using. Or is something that the Democrats should be using to agitate in Georgia. Okay? So Nancy Pelosi has done the right thing thus far. And I think she's going to continue doing the right thing in this situation because she fell ass backwards into a great situation. The great situation being Donald Trump coming out and saying, like, we need 2,000 because he was personally upset. He was personally upset at Mitch McConnell and the rest of the congressional Republicans for not fully supporting him in his efforts to undermine the outcome of the election. Right? So now that bill is out. That bill's out of the gates. And now we're going to need to add additional, they're going to pass a bill on Monday, today, that is direct coronavirus relief payments to some people, increases direct coronavirus relief payments to some people to $2,000. Now, of course, Republican senators are going to say, fuck no. Okay? And Donald Trump is not going to advocate for it as hard as he did beforehand because, once again, this was a purely symbolic thing. Now, I've known this from day one. I've said that this is going to happen from day one. And what will follow in the next couple of days leading up to the Georgia election, which is the only way that you could potentially get $2,000 in direct relief ever, is if Democrats hold the Senate, if Democrats gain control of the Senate and have a Senate majority. But if Democrats aren't gigantic dipshits, they will use the next couple of weeks as an opportunity to agitate for the $2,000 in direct relief and talk about how Republicans are the only ones, Senate Republicans specifically, are the only ones standing in opposition. They are the only people.
For your next game, will you play City
They are the only
Skylines?
people standing between you receiving $2,000. It's not the Democratic Party. It is absolutely the Republican Party. Now, this same mentality can be applied to every other fucking stimulus and basically every other progressive policy proposal that Democrats want to advocate for and refuse to do so. But in this circumstance, I feel like they literally lucked into this situation. I'm not seeing enough agitation from the National Democratic Party in regards to like this sort of proposal coming through. Okay, but hopefully they will increase it, and hopefully they will keep agitating and will effectively use this as a talking point in the upcoming Georgia elections. I closed the chat off because you guys are being disgusting and annoying, and I don't want to fucking see it, and it is frustrating me. So, sucks to suck,
Hey,
but
chat, I love you.
It is really fucking brutal sometimes. Like, chill the fuck out, okay? Holy shit. Seriously, holy fucking shit.
I appreciate all that you do, man.
Then I will vote to move and pass the Senate. No Democrats will object. Will the Senate? Republican Schumer tweeted. Trump cited the scheduled House vote in a statement Sunday announcing that he had finally signed the $2.3 trillion COVID relief and government funding package. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer predicted the supplement would pass the House. Schumer told reporters on Monday that he would try to pass the bill by unanimous consent on Tuesday, a procedure that would allow the bill to advance only if there are no objections. That's not going to happen, of course. The Senate Republicans are going to say no to the unanimous consent, and the bill will never even touch the floor of the fucking Senate. So right now, all you can do with this, all you can do going forward now is to weaponize the Republican gridlock and craft a solid narrative around the fucking fact that Republicans are stopping this effort from passing through, from pushing through. And Mitch McConnell is literally the most important person standing between you and $2,000. This needs to be communicated. If Democrats want to fucking win, they should communicate this over and over again. And if they end up winning Georgia, because they communicated this successfully, and I predict they would only win Georgia if they communicate this successfully. But if they do communicate it successfully and they do end up winning in Georgia, then you can use this as a success story for whatever kind of progressive measure that is broadly popular, that would truly help people. Okay? Why don't the Republican Party want us to have more money? Because you're fucking poor and therefore irrelevant and therefore not a full human being in the eyes of the Republicans. That's just it. You're not even a full human being in the eyes of the Democrats, but Republicans really despise you. Okay? You have no say, you have no voice, and you also, unfortunately, have no way of communicating your anger to your elected representatives, because it doesn't work that way, because you've been bullied out of the political structure, you've been bullied out of the political system, and you have no way to collectively bargain and make demands. That's just the reality. Sorry. It's just the fucking truth. You are worthless in their eyes, okay? They do not care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They only will give a fuck about you if you have enough anger that you can somehow, because of legitimate anger, you are pushed into grassroots organizing and agitate enough that, like, there is an election that will compromise the future power of the Republican Party, in which case they will make some minor concessions. The only reason why you got $600 to begin with was literally because of that, because the Georgia race is within a margin of error at this moment, and Republicans want to maintain the Senate control so they can keep obstructing under a Democratic White House. Okay?
Sanders says the president should do. Take a listen, guys.
You can't diddle around with the bill. Sign the bill, Mr. President, and then immediately, Monday, Tuesday, we can pass a $2,000 direct payment for the working families of this country.
So do the Democrats have leverage right now? I mean, what do you think of the way the party is seizing on this? To you, Margaret, first.
Look, I mean, if Democrats want more money, which, by the way, I mean, that's what's so bizarre about this, right? You have the Republican president coming out and siding essentially with the philosophical point the Democrats were making at the negotiating table. But look, if that's what he believes, then of course he should do it. But he doesn't believe anything, right? This president believes in people talking about him. He believes that his, yes, no news is good, no news is bad news. As long.
I mean, they're right. Like, she is right. Like, Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about giving $2,000 to people beyond the immediate media ping that he's gonna get, and maybe like his people are going to love him, and that's it. For like a brief moment, they're gonna remember that he exists, and they're gonna say, "Look at my fucking loving and kind president. He really is looking out for me." So that's pretty much it. And he wouldn't even normally do this if it wasn't for, I think, his anger towards Mitch McConnell and the National Republican Party as a whole for not backing him in this ridiculous fucking soft coup that he wanted to put together, but he was too fucking incompetent to put together. Like, he wouldn't have even brought this up. Why hasn't he talked about it? If he genuinely cared about like $2,000 and the admiration that would win him from the American working class, like, why the fuck didn't he agitate for this for months? And to the people who constantly talk about like, oh, well, there's also a lot of, there's also a lot of special interest money that's in the omnibus. First of all, it's an omnibus. Of course, there's going to be fucking special interest money. Not that it's good, but not all fucking money going to indirect relief to, I don't know, specific corporations or specific verticals, specific industries, or even like agriculture is a bad thing. And if you want further proof that like Donald Trump wasn't legitimately upset about his own, legitimately upset about the things that he brought up in that fucking conversation when he originally said he might veto. He never fully said it, but he said that he was going to potentially veto the bill. Well, that his own White House's proposals are nearly identical to the amount of fucking relief that he even brought up. They were like 3-3. They were less off by like $100,000 or $50,000. In some instances, he asked for more money. So, like in some instances, he asked for even more money for fucking relief for certain foreign governments and aid. So shut the fuck up. If you are stupid enough that you literally believe that Donald Trump actually cares about like special interest funding, and that's why he's holding up this proposal, you're a fucking idiot. You're a mark, you're a simp, you're a moron, and also, quite frankly, you are unaware. You are unaware of the reality that that the Trump White House itself has advocated for those special interest funds in their budget proposals. So shut the fuck up, you stupid fuck. This is what I have to say to all the Tim Pool fans who are deluded by Tim Pool into thinking that like Donald Trump actually fucking gave a shit about special interest funding. He doesn't. And that's precisely why I didn't mention aid to Israel. That's precisely why I didn't mention aid to the UAE, because those were signature accomplishments of his administration, if you remember. Well, that's fucking foreign aid as well. Why didn't you mention that? No, he didn't, because, that doesn't play well to his other benefactors. So, those are the real reasons. And liberals, in all of their Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes do actually fucking arrive at the correct take. And this is the correct take. That like Donald Trump doesn't give a fucking single shit about the American working class, just like he doesn't give a shit about money going to special interest groups. But you have to utilize these talking points as effectively as possible if you want to give $2,000 to workers eventually. And I think that Nancy Pelosi did a decent job of agitating. So did Chuck Schumer, surprisingly. And they're using this as an opportunity to agitate for Georgia, and they should do it more. They're currently agitating, but they should be using this agitation in a way to win the narrative in the Georgia Senate race that is about to happen in a week and a half. What the fuck are you doing?
As long as his name is in the press and in the media, then he's winning. And that's what my suspicion is that this is about. This isn't about people's lives. This isn't about people's livelihoods. This isn't about suffering or trying to help get through this cataclysmic moment.
And what my wife may be...
Really should point out how Trump gave billions to Pakistan, not Afghanistan. I wonder why. Wait, what? I'm confused. Do you think that I'm in the pocket of like big Pakistan or something? I don't give a shit about the fucking CIA aid to Pakistan on helping Pakistani children learn about trans issues or whatever the fuck that was about. Yeah, I'm in the pocket of big Pakistan, dude. Stupid moron. Anyway. It is top of the hour every hour. It's time for a 60-second ad break, and then more on this and other issues. I'm going to go grab a quick coffee while this video runs out as well. If you want to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for free with a Twitch Prime. Here it is. Boom. Here's the ad.
Sort of dancing around is Bernie Sanders may have a point there. I mean, if the president wants to raise everybody's, get more money, then pass this bill, avoid the shutdown, and then really push with Democrats, as surreal as it sounds, to increase the amount of direct payments. But the Republicans in the House already knocked that down. Democrats are going to pass their own version. But what the president's doing is just lighting everything on fire so Captain Chaos gets to come in and save the day. It's the arsonist as a firefighter, but it's not going to work this time.
I mean, I think we both know Bernie Sanders is trying to call President Trump's bluff here.
Of course.
Right? Yeah.
Well, we're definitely up against the clock, right? And so, I was hearing from people who are facing, this financial cliff saying, look, just pass this bill, sign this bill.
Someone asked a completely unrelated question. Should socialized healthcare systems pay for gender confirmation? Yes, it should. Of course it should. Yeah. What, do you got a problem? You're like, I'm in favor of healthcare, but like if trans people are going to get it, then then no, I don't want it. Well, then you're a unique kind of moron if that's actually your take. I'm not saying that it is your take, but that's not how this works. Like, okay? States and labor are seeking a workaround for the expired unemployment benefits because of Trump's delay on the signing of the bill. States and labor department are looking into a potential workaround to keep 14 million people from losing a week of unemployment benefits right now. Michelle Evermore, a top unemployment expert at the National Employment and Law Project and a volunteer member of the President-elect Joe Biden's transition review team for the Labor Department, said the legal language of the COVID-19 relief bill could offer a loophole. Two key emergency unemployment programs, pandemic unemployment assistance and pandemic emergency unemployment compensation, expired on Saturday, for those of you who don't know. The former provided benefits to the self-employed and gig economy workers not typically eligible for unemployment, while the latter extended benefits beyond the traditional 26 weeks available in most states. The COVID-19 relief bill passed by Congress last week extended both programs into mid-March, but President Trump did not sign the bill until Sunday after the programs had expired, which of course means that 14 million people would lose a week of benefits. And they're losing a week of benefits as rent is coming. And that is a terrifying situation to be in if you are one of the 14 million people. So this is why I always say, like, marginal differences in governance lead to disastrous consequences on the ground for millions and millions of people. Like the difference between Donald Trump saying like he's going to destroy DACA or no longer continue it, even though it was unsuccessful as an attempt, versus the difference between, Joe Biden saying, no, I'm going to protect DACA, means 800,000 immigrants, 800,000 American citizens in almost every single fucking word except the piece of paper will have their immigration status in limbo and will lose confidence in the government, lose confidence in the federal government. So that's a huge deal for so many people, which is why it is important to remember that always. Okay, so by the way, Kalima, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs, and Pants the Goat, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Do you think there will be big protests due to this huge gap in aid, or do you think most Americans are too big of cucks? Regarding the socialized medicine and gender confirmation surgery, what age do you agree is a suitable age? What? Dude, I don't, stop. I don't care. Is that what we're talking about right now? Is that what you want to talk about currently? Like, shut the fuck up, okay? Whatever the professionals think is the right age. Okay, 12, I think, is like what they say. I know that you only want to talk about this because it's gonna fucking frustrate you or some shit. And that's all you want to. Yeah, just curious Andy's over here. It's like fucking asking about birth control, dude. Like, what age should girls be allowed to ask their parents or whatever to get fucking birth control? Like, I don't know. What's it to you, motherfucker? Like, why are you just curious about this? I'm new here too, and you just called me a moron for asking a question in front of 19K people. Thanks, man. Glad I came here. You're welcome. Okay. I also followed it up by saying maybe you are legitimately just curious. But as you can see, the question that you asked had an underlying, whether you are aware of whether you intended for this to happen or not. But the question you asked derailed the conversation away from necessary relief in the form of, $600 aid to whatever the fuck we're talking about now, like relitigating fucking SJW and anti-SJW grievances. Just like this other fucking idiot, and this person is an idiot, okay? Or all I said is that if you think what the boy did was bad, you're an idiot. Yeah, see, again, this other person is like actually a fucking moron who is still talking about the New York Times story, which we will get to. Do not worry. We will get to it. You know that in this community, I react to people writing in the chat. If you write something, I will very likely see it and I will respond to it. Okay? Wait, did he say I'm 40? What? I'm 29 years old. The fuck? Shut up, dumbass. Why do people get offended when you call them out if anyone is anonymous anyway? I mean... Oh, okay. This is why I literally turned off the chat, by the way. It's not happening. Okay, we're back. We're back to fucking turning off the chat. Sorry. Shut the fuck up. I can't cover the fucking news anymore with like so many people that are coming in just exclusively to derail the conversation. Okay. If you have genuine questions about other stuff related to politics, it might be a legitimate concern. It might be because you want to express your frustration. It might be because you deliberately want to derail the conversation. You don't give a fuck about what we're talking about. Keep it to yourself until after the topic is over when we move on to the next one. Okay. Okay. And moderators, you can clean up the chat a little bit if you want. So hopefully this works. Evermore says that although the bill has language limiting the new benefits to the date that it was enacted, states and the Labor Department may have a workaround. Hopefully this workaround works. Labor Department's Employment and Training Administration, which administers the federal aid to state unemployment programs, could modify their existing state contracts instead of writing new ones altogether, thus avoiding the lapse. It looks like it may be possible that states could, instead of drafting new agreements with states, they could just modify their old agreements. In essence, they could backdate their agreements to keep the funds from lapsing. Anyone who opposes this will probably be a Republican, by the way, and will do it because they're fucking assholes. And the only reason to oppose something like this is because you literally are like, fuck the poors, and fuck them to death. I do not care if they lose out on $300 extra in funding. That's the only reason why you would ever like draw up a legal challenge against this. It seems like, it feels like. So we'll see what happens. That's one workaround that people are working on to make sure that if you are eligible, or if you've been eligible, you should still get that $300. Okay. Okay. All right, let's continue. Moving on.
Our two members.
Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush were interviewed and how they feel about compromising. Let's see what they had to say.
Of the incoming Progressive Caucus, Congressman-elect Jamal Bowman of New York, who defeated a 16-term incumbent Democrat, and Congresswoman-elect Cori Bush of Missouri, who defeated a 10-term incumbent and is now going to be Missouri's first black female member of Congress. Thank you and congratulations to you both. Congresswoman-elect Bush, let me start with you. Democrats as I mentioned, they have a very slim majority in the House and may not win the majority in the Senate. So you're coming in as a newly elected progressive Democrat. How are you going to balance that agenda with the realities of divided government? Do you feel confident and comfortable with the notion of compromising?
You know, I don't think that it's about what we would consider quote unquote compromise. My first priority has to be to bring St. Louis to the table. I'm bringing St. Louis to Congress, and I'm doing it as the politivist, the activist. I'm not taking that off of my shoulders. I'm the activist and the politician. So I'm using what I learned on the streets of Ferguson and every other protest, every other movement I've been a part of, that moxie, that desire to apply pressure, that, you know, being bold and fierce, bringing that to Congress, making sure that the voices of regular people, and bringing grassroots organizers, bringing the people that are actually on the ground doing the work, bringing that to Congress and making sure that that voice is heard. I feel like that is something that is that we're not seeing enough of. So that's what I think that has to happen. When we talk about compromise, you know, how can you compromise if you're not one of the people that know exactly what's happening on the ground in our communities? I'm someone that's been there. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, to live unhoused. I know what it's like to live uninsured. And, you know, so that is what I bring, my lived experience.
And Congressman-elect Bowman, you are pretty outspoken in the fact that you support the defund police movement, and you call out your fellow Democrats who do not. So how are you going to put that into action when you are a member of Congress, actually legislate those ideals?
To piggyback on what Corey just mentioned, our job is to meet the needs of our constituents, period, point blank. We have 30% poverty rates in different parts of my district. Our schools are underfunded. People are struggling to put food on the table and to keep a roof over their heads. I've had 2 police-involved shootings in my district over the last year. So as we talk about defunding the police, we're talking about reimagining public safety, reimagining public health, taking a holistic approach to legislating to truly meet the needs of the constituents in my district. That is the bottom line. So we cannot compromise when it comes to what are the needs of the people in my district. People are hungry, people are homeless, people are jobless, poverty rates are way too high, and my fight in Congress is going to be with the people of our district to make sure we deal with those issues explicitly and directly without compromise.
I want to ask both of you about the bill that's sitting on President Trump's desk, or with him in the golf cart at Mar-a-Lago. Congresswoman-elect Bush, I'll ask you first. Do you support what passed, including the $600 direct payment? I know you said it's not enough, but is that okay for now?
When we think about what's okay, $600, you know, why do we treat our people like that? We want to toss some crumbs and then ask and hope that people are loyal. You know, why is that even a question to give people $600? $2,000 is not enough. You know, we're talking about, we haven't had, some people didn't even see the $1,200, but for those that did, it's been months. And so when we talk about giving somebody $600, that's a slap in the face to people who are suffering. And let me tell you, when you're hungry all day. That's a every moment, every hour feeling.
So is President
Cori Bush was literally homeless. Like, talk about someone who has a personal relationship or personal experience with this subject matter. And just remember that. So when she speaks on issues like this, she speaks from a place of personal experience.
And that
Trump
does something
not
to
to
you.
Sign it?
President Trump, you know what? The fact that he cares more about Twitter and what Twitter thinks about making sure that people have food, you know, that's what we should be talking about. Trump not signing it. It shouldn't be necessarily about the money, but I agree with the $2,000. It needs to at least be $2,000. So he needs to talk to his Republican buddies and say, give the people.
So to pick
Money. Come on, Mitch, where is the money? Do that now. But instead, he's too busy worried about making sure that his friends getting his friends out of prison. What we need to be doing is making sure that those 40,000 homeless veterans have a place to go. You know, that's what we should be doing. We should be looking at cutting that Pentagon budget by 10%, like it has been proposed, to make sure that our veterans get the resources and our communities get the resources they need. That's what he should be doing right now. Not worried about Twitter.
Congressman-elect Bowen.
So the House passed the HEROES Act several months ago, and we were talking about $1,200 checks, I believe, at that time. We need to be at $2,000 per month to meet the needs of the American people, bottom line. We need to continue the $600 per week unemployment insurance. The president is just posturing. He recently suffered a malignant narcissistic harm by losing the election.
Their analysis is completely correct, by the way. I mean, it's basically what I said as well. It's just that Donald Trump is only doing this because he's just mad at the fucking Republicans. Democrats should wisen up and still use this as an opportunity to, one, win the Georgia races by effectively using this as a message and effectively placing the opportunity of increasing the direct payments up to $2,000 in the hands of the National Republican Party, in the hands of the Republicans in the Senate, so that there's no fucking confusion around this. And the confusion on top of that is going to be special interest spending, which is what I said literally when Donald Trump first came out and was talking about fucking Asian carps in the Great Lakes and shit. What did I tell you? I told you he's using that inevitably to claim, oh, well, it wasn't just about the $2,000. It was also about these special interest funding, these special interest funds, and all this money going to like Asian carp and you know, fishing and agriculture, when his own White House literally advocated for all of those proposals. His own White House has a personal budget, and his own White House's personal budget straight up had all of those funds. Every single one that Donald Trump had brought up, his own White House's budget featured. Every single one that Donald Trump brought up and claimed was like, excessive spending, Donald Trump's very own White House had budgeted for and had advocated for. So he's just lying. He's just using this as an opportunity. If anyone has that tweet, I can't find it now. It was one that I showed you immediately the day after, when there's like a lineup, like a perfectly lined up, itemized receipt, basically, of the Trump White House budget proposals and how it shows literally what they were advocating for. That's one of the most effective ways you can shut people the fuck up. And if they actually wanted the $2,000, he would have been advocating for it months ago when he didn't. So it doesn't matter whether Trump is legitimate or not. What matters is what you have to do with the gift that Donald Trump just gave you. Okay?
He continues to go to court to try to overturn the results. He continues to lose. And now he's posturing to make himself, to bring himself back as the hero of the American people, asking for $2,000. Mnuchin negotiated on the president's behalf for this $600. So initially the president was fine with that, and now he's trying to switch it up.
Real quick, do you think that Speaker Pelosi made a mistake in agreeing to this?
Transgender pride.
The American people need relief right now. So this bill was what we were able to come up with at this moment, but we need to go right back to the table to give people more in terms of relief. The president is the embodiment of everything that's wrong with this country. He's a privileged person who rose to power as a reality TV star, and now he's trying to drive this country into chaos. I can't wait for him to be out of office. And the number one thing is we got to win those 2 Senate seats in Georgia so we could take Mitch McConnell's power so we can properly govern for all the American people.
And real quick, before I let you both go, something looking ahead at that you're both going to have to vote on, which is the Speaker of the House, Congresswoman-elect.
When? Pogo.
So, and then the final question is, of course, palace intrigue, I guess. What would you do about Nancy Pelosi?
Nancy Pelosi is Speaker?
What I'm going to do is make sure that the voices of the people of St. Louis are heard and that we have what we need. And so you'll find out then.
That's not a yes.
I'm working with my community. I'm working with my community.
Okay. And Congressman-elect Bowman, will you vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker?
So you will find out when my vote is tallied, and again, organizing with our community to figure out what's best.
I'm just curious, what does that mean? When you said organizing with our community, I mean, what do you want to hear from them real quick in order to make your decision on whether Nancy Pelosi should be the Speaker?
So for me,
go ahead,
Corey.
Jamal.
No, for me, go ahead.
Sorry, we're almost out of time, actually. So just give me a 10-second answer.
We got to bring H.R. 40 to the floor for a vote. We need reparations for the African-American community. We need a federal jobs guarantee. We need Medicare for all.
Thank you. Thank you so much to you both. Congratulations. Merry Christmas. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we need more of that. Okay, we need more of that. Like, look, there's growing pains. It's a first step. It's not going to happen overnight. But we need more Jamal Bowmans. We need more Cori Bushes. We need more AOCs in Congress. We need more people to get workers and get Americans on board with even being able to advocate for these ideas. Because Americans do not even have confidence right now that they could ask for more. So that is what we need. We need more people in positions of power saying things like this. Okay? Anyway. Are you for or against forcing the vote? I have said this already, and I think that... Oh, fuck, this is the wrong chat. I don't want to even... I want back here. I've said this before. I think tactically, forcing a vote on Medicare for all is not the best decision. But if that's what the progressive caucus members want to go with, then of course I will support it. Okay. Wrong chat is in. That's my monitor that like just has the chat on it. It's a lot easier for me to not focus on chat if it's not on screen that I'm on the screen that I'm looking at. There's no any of these things will ever fucking pass. Like, even if we want those things, our talking points should be more digestible to the average American. Some progressive rhetoric is literally more divisive and makes our objectives harder. I don't think it's fucking divisive to say we need Medicare for all. And if you're hyper focusing on the reparation part, that seems like an issue that should be even. That is an issue that we will only arrive at a compromise on once we start talking about it, and we don't even fucking talk about it as a serious proposal. But this notion that like Medicare for all is a divisive issue or a federal jobs guarantee is a divisive issue is ridiculous. Every issue is divisive as long as we are not talking about it at all, and it will remain divisive. The mainstream media makes it divisive on purpose. They get the progressives to try and come at Pelosi on purpose. They're the ones being divisive. Yeah. Oh, here, by the way, for those of you who are wondering, this is a compilation that Kevin Liptak, the White House reporter, put together from the Trump proposals. If you want to see the full fucking budget, it's like 1,500 pages. You can go and find these piece by piece in the Trump White House budget proposal. But Trump complained about 85.5 million assistance to Cambodia. His budget proposal was 82,505,000 for assistance to Cambodia. He complained about 134 million going to Burma. His budget proposal was 131 million in assistance to Burma. His complaint was about 1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military. His proposal literally was the same, 1.3 billion in assistance to Egypt. So whenever people try to use the special interests or foreign aid as a talking point to be like, well, it's not just about the $2,000, it's about the foreign aid as well. No, it's not. His own fucking proposal literally featured most of this aid. Of course it did, because Hasan doesn't know the difference between million and billion. What? what? Dude, it's hard not to. Do you understand why I sometimes turn the chat off? Do you get why? Because, like, there are people in here that are so fucking stupid that they themselves don't know how to read. And then they think, like, in their Dunning-Kruger infested brain, they think, like, oh, no, I must be right because I'm smart all the time. And other people tell me that I'm smart, and I'm too stupid enough to believe that I'm smart. So even if I don't read something correctly, it's probably Hasan's fault. Okay? Like, that's what it is. That's part of the reason why I have to sometimes turn off the chat. The lack of serious debate on issues like M4A creates most of the division, forcing a vote would at least bring that discussion onto the House floor. That makes some Dems uncomfy, though, so it's bad. No.
Hey.
The Medicare for All proposal without Democratic power in the Senate is basically the same as saying Kamala Harris is the most progressive fucking senator in America and more progressive than Bernie Sanders. You can't simultaneously hold the belief that, like, Kamala Harris and senators and congressional Democrats vote symbolically when they have no fucking material power, and then also claim that, like, a symbolic proposal, a symbolic fucking push for a bill is actually going to get Democrats on board with it or against it. Okay, either you personally believe that Kamala Harris literally is the most progressive fucking senator in the history of the United States Senate or some shit or whatever the fuck they were saying, because she voted for and even co-signed proposals under Donald Trump that they knew without a fucking shred of a doubt was not going to go anywhere. And that's why they did it, to, like, bring up their progressive bona fides. Or you think that those votes don't fucking matter, and that's why people can go out and cast those bullshit votes. But nothing has structurally or fundamentally changed in that time frame. Okay, House majority still exists, and the Senate majority is still in the hands of the Republicans. The president being Joe Biden doesn't really change that reality at all at this stage. Okay, Joe Biden's not even the fucking president yet, regardless. He's the president-elect. Okay? So, to the lefties who say forcing a vote right now is really fucking good, or forcing a vote on Medicare for All right now is going to get Democrats to, like, show their true colors, well, then why do you believe that Kamala Harris is the most progressive Democrat in the Senate? Because you can't have those two opinions on at the same time. You can't have those two opinions in your brain at the same time. If you understand that Kamala Harris is not the most progressive because her Senate voting record is the most progressive, because the Senate voting record under a Trump administration when Democrats have no fucking material power is completely meaningless and it's just purely symbolic, then you should recognize that it's the exact same argument that you're advancing. What leftist thinks Kamala is a progressive? I think there's libs or sock dems. No, leftists don't think Kamala is progressive because they know. That's why I'm saying, why do you think Kamala is the most progressive Democrat? You don't. Okay, then you understand that these votes are symbolic when there's no material power in the hands of Democrats. Post-Democratic majority, if Democrats win Georgia and they have a majority, in which case you fucking force the vote like this, that's entirely separate. That's an entirely separate argument. Okay, but forcing, like, symbolic votes like this is only going to arrive at the exact same fucking, thing that we know already.
Has mod Shiper.
Are we not going to talk about the CIA ops on that budget? I mean, dude, it's the fucking American foreign policy, like American foreign aid. It's nearly directly tied to CIA. What do you want? It's all CIA. But she voted with Bernie more than most senators. That's got to count for something. Yeah, it counts for the fact that she was a fucking senator in California. That's all it counts for. And she has the and she reads the room better than like older congressional Democrats. So we shouldn't vote if even the blue dogs don't have enough votes to shut it down. Brother, do you not comprehend what I am saying? That now is in the actual hands of the Democratic Party. Do you understand? That's entirely different than not even having the Senate even deliberate on this fucking bill because it doesn't touch the fucking floor, because Mitch McConnell runs the goddamn Senate because Republicans are in charge of the Senate currently. Okay, they control the Senate. They have the majority. Mitch McConnell will literally not even fucking have you talk about this bill. Blue dog Democrats are going to be an additional hurdle, but that's entirely different. They're Democrats, okay? There's always going to be opposition, but pressuring blue dog Democrats is entirely different than like not even having a fucking conversation about this bill in the Senate. Like, I've never made that argument. Blue dog Democrats are still fucking Democrats. Anyway. So, is there really a downside, though? The weed decriminalization bill passing in the House was really cool because it's proof that we have to show voters in the next cycle that we care. Same with M4A. It doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because if Democrats don't follow through on things that they push for, whether it's symbolic or not, in their messaging when they're running for elections, then who gives a fuck that you, like, symbolically put forward a bill? It's, like, no different than fucking naming a post office. Okay? Like, sick. Okay, Democrats are on board with weed legalization. Who's the fucking president? Who's the biggest Democrat? Who's the most important Democrat in the fucking country, in the entire planet? Joe Biden. Literally not on board with, like, decriminalization of marijuana at the federal level. What good does that do us then? Again, same fucking problem with Joseph Robinette Biden, who literally said, Joseph Robinette Biden literally fucking said he would veto Medicare for all if it landed on his desk. That's great. I think that when Democrats do actually have power, when they do actually have the majority in the Senate, pushing them on a Medicare for all is absolutely a good thing to do, to show the rest of the country that Democrats are not on board with it, to like actually fucking start organizing around it, to start doing the groundwork necessary so that there is grassroots pressure on specific legislators, having organizational power outside of getting politicians to like vote yay or nay on a certain proposal. That's what's necessary. It takes a lot to get your congressperson to be on board with the proposal. It takes a lot of pressure. It takes a lot of organization. People just assume that, like, you know, Democrats are just going to be like, oh my God, I guess I got to do the right thing. Like, no, the fuck, they're not going to do the right thing. The only way that you can actually get them to do anything is if you hit them where it fucking hurts. Hit them in their pocketbook. Limit their opportunities to get reelected. Say, you're not going to get reelected, bitch. We will do everything in our power to fucking primary you out. That's the only way that you can, that is the only way that you can fucking get any of this shit done. Anyway, what did he say? Someone said Obama was for gay marriage, and then, you know, boom, he's like pro-gay marriage all of a sudden. Like, tactically hiding it. Yeah. Gay marriage doesn't have that same fucking... gay marriage is not a fundamental plank of our white supremacist criminal justice system. Okay? Gay marriage is a wedge issue. Like, it's different than... Obama was against gay marriage, though, and that passed under his administration. God dang, Hassan, why are you so much like this? Yeah, again, let me just remind you this, okay? Obama being, you know, for partnerships or civil partnerships or whatever the fuck it was called at the time, I can't remember. And then, you know, legalizing gay marriage later down in his administration is entirely different than marijuana and legalization and decriminalization of marijuana, when that has material consequences beyond just straight up a wedge issue that is weaponized by either party. as a social issue. Okay? Do you understand? Also, yeah, gay marriage was legalized via Supreme Court. It really didn't matter if Obama was himself in support of it. I mean, do I think that Obama was a fucking homophobe? No. Do I think that he gave a shit about gay marriage one way or the other? No, absolutely not. Weren't you going to be on the new Daily Dose, or is it another one besides the one that just uploaded? I don't know. I don't know if he put me in it or not. There was he didn't like my read because I tried to do his voice. I don't know if he actually added it in there, but I sent him another one this morning, but it might have been too late. I just think you're missing that Democrats need to make the stark clarity that Republicans and Blue Dog Dems are stonewalling legislation. They can have it by making it clear, putting things on the floor. Oh, God. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. If you at this stage still don't understand it and you think I'm like fake or something, then go ahead. I'm fake. I just don't. I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm fucking fake. Anyway, Americans just need more than a hegemonic two-party. I don't disagree with that, but the full Bernie interview? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so the House will vote on increasing the coronavirus stimulus checks to $2,000. Again, make no mistake, it's probably not going to happen. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Because I think that people like misunderstand some of the things I say. I do not believe that this is going to be a successful initiative. Republicans are going to stop this. The only reason why this is important is because it may help in getting Democrats to win in Georgia, and there are going to be a lot of additional benefits there. Then you can actually pressure Democrats to follow through on what allowed them to win in Georgia. Okay? Like the $2,000 checks that they promised. There it is. Okay? So it will take some time.
Reversal from the...
Okay?